Break. Alright, yeah, break. That's how we start the video today. Cool, we're going to go over real quick our Groudon list that we played. R meaning me, Grady, and Kyle, Grady's brother, all played the same 60 cards down in Anaheim Regionals this weekend, with Grady going, you said 5-2-2.
5-2-2, yeah.
Kyle going 4-3-2?
Yeah, he finished 4-3-2.
4-3-2, and then me going 5-0-4 in Swiss, making it to day 2, where I went 3-2 in day 2 to get 11th. So yeah, this deck was really successful. We poured a lot of work into it, and this is kind of the results. So we're just going to kind of go over some of our choices. Our matchups, we're not going to bore you with how all of our matchups did. Yeah. We just got home, so that's why all my laundry's out. I apologize. Yikes! Right?
This isn't how he lives, folks.
This is how. Yeah, right. This is how I live. So yeah, I think the first thing that people are going to point to is the Groudon line being 3-2. Why did we decide to drop the third Groudon and go to 2?
Well, it's sketchy as fuck, but because most games you're only going to need to set up one, and if your other one's prized, you can super rod the other one in back afterwards. And I mean, we talked about it. Neither of us we had a game where the 2 primals hurt us. We didn't think so.
Yeah, I never ran into that situation either. I never needed it. There was almost never a game where I was like, man, I wish I had a second Groudon set up.
Yeah, the only game we were talking about was the mirror match.
Yeah, the mirror, but this is obviously not equipped for the mirror match anyways.
No, not even a little bit.
No, God, no. We get bodied by the mirror.
Other than that, I don't like the 3 Groudon. Like, maybe it's nice, but you can get away with 2 as long as you're careful about it.
If we played 3, it would have been nice to have a Spirit Link.
Yeah. Or
some other different build. So yeah, that's why we went 3-2 to kind of make room for other thing. The second thing that we want to point out, what people asked me, they were actually surprised by this. I had like 2 or 3 people ask me about it afterwards, about the 3 Karina instead of 4. That was like the next, that was the next highest thing. It was actually only one person ever noticed that we only played 2 Groudons. Nobody else asked about it for the rest of the day. Yeah. So like nobody knew we didn't play 3. But the Karina, people were like, oh, are you playing 4 Karina? And we're like, nope, 3. And they're like, dude, you're crazy.
Did they just say like you should cut a Juniper and end for that, or?
They just said, why aren't you guys playing 4?
Huh.
And my response was, because you don't need it. You don't need 4.
Like Karina is only good kind of like to get set up in the first couple turns. Like after that, it's super underwhelming. Because like once you have Groudons out, it's basically it's like such a wasted supporter most of the time.
I liked it just like late game if I needed the switch or another letter or something like a versus eager for it, and that was about it.
You don't need 4 of them.
Yeah. No, I had a couple people ask me that, and I was just kind of confused. I was like, yeah, that's standard, but you don't need it. Then the next question was the enhanced hammers.
Right, of course. That's going to be the next big thing.
That was the third most asked question was, man, you guys are playing 2 enhanced hammers? And I was like, try again.
You played the third, and I'm like, oh, fuck, you guys are playing 3 enhanced?
Yeah, there was a guy that actually did that. I played 2, and he's like, whoa, a second one, that's crazy, man. And then I played a third one against him, and he was like, "What is this?" Like, so, and that was before I even played the Flare Grunt down. So,
you got to talk about all 5 of those though, like because we play the 3 enhanced hammer, the Flare Grunt, and the Zerosic.
Yep. And so why did we do that?
Well, we thought because like the Zerosic and the Flare Gun are really good against any Toad variant, obviously, but we played it mostly for Vespiquen and Night March, and then Hexquaza. Because in that matchup, you're not going to win by prizes until very late game.
The Hexquaza?
Yeah, you don't want to attack until... Basically, your whole strategy is just to try and hammer off all their energies and get rid of all their energies. And if they're not careful about their drops, which they're probably not going to be because they don't know you're running 3 fucking enhanced hammers, then you can mostly just hammer away all their energy for free. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, we never run in... None of us 3 played Hexquaza, but we were... licking our lips.
I was hoping to, but no.
Right. It's really the main strategy we wanted to use it for is Vespiquen. Right. So you get rid of all of their DCs on their queens, and now they're gonna have to blacksmith the Flareons. And the moment they do that, you throw a hexed mirror on there. Silver mirror, sorry, a silver mirror on there. And if they're only playing 3 fires, then they can't attack with anybody else. Yeah. They can like retreat and super rod them back in and slowly attach them to a Vespiquen, but by then you're like slaying them anyway.
Because most Vespiquens don't run like a Zerosic or a Scrapper, so the only way they have around that is trying to manually attach fires to Vespiquen if you get all their DCs off.
Yep. Yeah, and then I actually realized in playtesting what you could do is if they set up 2 Flareons and they blacksmith the one, you could Lysander the other one.
Yeah. So then you throw a Silver Mirror on the Bunnelby, and you just sit there burrow for days.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, okay, cool, can't do anything about it.
There was a weird situation that actually did occur a little bit, where it didn't come into play big time, but it was against when I was playing Toad Genesect in top. I threw a Silver Mirror on a...
oh, I forgot there was a Toad Genesect, huh?
Yeah, in top.
That would have helped you. Okay.
I put it on a Robo Sub and forced him to quake. It was
That's kind of awesome.
Oh, it was pretty legit. I was like, yeah, buddy, you can't attack with Genesect this turn.
Or you could G-booster my Robo Sub,
Yeah, right. Well, he put a muscle band on there.
Okay.
So... those were like the 3 biggest questions. Another question we got from a local Spokane player is the energy count, but there is the 2 letters actually. That we'll go over that though, because I did have a couple people, like only like 2 or 3 people, when the second letter hit, they're like, "Whoa, how many letters do you guys play?"
Yeah.
And that saved. I don't know about you, but that saved my bacon so many times.
Yeah, because I mean, you have to if you miss an energy attachment on a turn, you're so fucked. You cannot miss energy attachments with this deck, Yeah.
And if you do, you can only miss 1 tops. Like, if you miss 2 in a row, it gets really sketchy.
Because you're already attacking for 4 energy anyway, and you can only stall for so long until you actually have to attack or threaten an attack.
Mm-hmm.
So.
One other card we'll go over real quick, just before there's some other stuff, but the Cassius.
Cassius and Pokemon Center Lady, I think.
Yeah, no, the Cassius, though. Like, Pokemon Center Lady is kind of standard in Groudon, but I had a lot of people like, oh my gosh, why are you guys running Cassius? Like, everyone's like, oh, I thought about it. I wanted to put it in, but we couldn't. This.
Right.
What did we end up deciding on that? Like, why?
Cassius was busted, dude. It, won me games single-handedly.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, because, most of the time, because Primal Groudon, you can protect prizes. Like, if you have 220 damage on it, whatever, you can retreat it. They can't Lysander it up, so most decks don't have a way to kill it. But against Toadbats, if they put it at 220, then if you retreat to the bench, you're still fucked because they can just bat drop it. So then you can just play Cassius, and they wasted 220 damage, which is probably
most
4 bat drops.
There's a whole bunch of bat drops.
Yeah, exactly, and a ton of resources for them, and you just literally negate all of that hard work by playing Cassius.
And then you just wait, and then you do the same thing you were doing earlier, where you just Primal Evolve and slowly charge them up because they don't have enough damage to deal with it.
Exactly. And it's just sometimes it's good if you have a Wob stuck in the active and you need to retreat it.
Oh yeah.
It's there's so many different ways you can use it.
I prevented a Wob knockout by Cassius.
Yeah.
And that was actually big in that turn.
Yeah. So anything that can hit your bench primals, which normally you could just save prizes with, it's good to use it there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Definitely
and then the Pokemon Center Lady.
Well, Pokemon Center Lady for me was MVP. Was single-handedly the best card in the deck this weekend.
Yeah, any deck that's not going to be able to threatening one-shots, any Toad-based deck or
helped me so much against Yveltal.
Yeah, Yveltal.
There was one game against the breakthrough Yveltal where he sniped my Groudon 3 times in a row, and I played Pokemon Center Lady versus your Pokemon Center Lady, dowsing Pokemon Center Lady, and he was just like, "What do I do?" And I came up, and I every time I just hammer, and there's nothing you could do. So.
Otherwise, I think the supporter's really easy. The Hex is mainly in there for Giratina, right?
Right, yeah, Giratina, and if there's any rambling Siglifs or whatever out there, who knows? Or if God forbid someone plays Clink Clank.
I mean, most of the time you can just use Wob to get around shit, but
yeah, Aegislash, Giratina, that sort of deal. But
I think we should talk about the A-Spec too, because that was a super fucking hard decision.
Yeah, we wanted to play Scramble Switch.
We wanted to play Scramble Switch, and we wanted to play Rock Guard, and we wanted to play Computer Search.
And Gold Potion.
Literally 5 A-Specs we were debating between. They all have their merits.
Yeah, we settled on dowsing though, just because of we had to drop down to 4 stadiums, and that scared us. We took out Scramble Switch, and we're like, oh, we have to bump up a switch, so we should do the dowsing machine so we can have an extra switch.
Yeah. Well, the reason we dropped is because Scramble Switch, it'll win you games sometimes, but sometimes it'll just be useless.
Yeah, it was.
That was after we dropped to 2 Primal Groudons. We took it out.
Yeah.
So the chances of you pulling off a Scramble Switch player much lower.
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. Once we decided to go from 3 to 2, we were like, okay,
Yeah.
we can't have Scramble Switch. But we kept the Psychic in because why not, right? Like,
There's literally no reason not to run it.
yep, no
So-
reason not to.
The reason we want to run Rock Guard is because this deck has literally no outs against Regice, besides just Flare Grunting and Lysandering.
And
around it.
praying.
Yeah. So if you put a Rock Guard on something, at least they attack twice and it dies.
Right. And that's your reason to play Reggie Rock,
Yeah.
the promo Reggie Rock, so you can actually have an answer to that. So, yeah, that's our list that we played.
It still just looks janky looking at it.
Yeah, once you look at it, you're like, well, this is weird.
Like,
But-
there's more tools in stadiums, and
Yeah,
there's
right.
one fucking Ultra Ball.
Right.
I've never ran a deck with one Ultra Ball in it.
It only screwed me over once, by the way. The one Ultra Ball. The
Yeah.
one time I never careened for Ultra Ball like at all. Like I never needed to, just because I already had like a wob or something. But the one time I needed to, it was prized. The one time I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually Ultra like careening for an Ultra Ball. I won that game anyways, but I was still
There you
like, oh well. I got like a Robo sub, and I was like, okay, this is fine. Like, so yeah, that's the video. Another classic low quality video. Another one. Another low quality video.
Low class.
Low class, low quality.
We don't have class.
We forgot that in Anaheim. I'm gonna turn around. Gotta turn back. But yeah, more videos after Grady gets back from Oregon. I'm not going to Oregon because I suck.
You know, I was thinking about this earlier, though. It's a shame, like, that you have to play 3 beaches, because otherwise this deck would be a super cool budget deck, because you don't have to play any shamans, and most of this shit is really cheap to get, you know?
That's true. If you didn't
Like,
play the beaches, yeah.
But fucking Tropical Beach is just the stupidest.
That's true.
whatever.
You're right. I never even thought about that. Yeah, you could make them a budget deck.
But
You could play it without beat. You could play it with
No.
Battle City.
Don't tell people to do that.
Battle City.
No, dude, you can't run this deck with that beach.
Battle City.
No.
Same thing, right? How many times did you beach for one?
A couple.
I did it like
Yes.
almost every single,
But how
almost
many
every
times
single.
did I beach for like 6 or 7.
Yeah, but Battle City, well, you can just Battle City into a Juniper, and it's the same thing.
Okay, that's good advice. Just Battle City and a Juniper, guys. You'll be fine.
That's all we got for today, kiddos. Well, more videos will be getting pumped out after Grady gets back from Oregon, and all that fun stuff. And video is ending. Whee!